You know, the whole idea about making this ride is that you turn this around, and not only the arms go, well, I mean, the arms go up and down. That's the whole thing. So it's more about getting that mechanism to work. And you can do it. It's very simple in SolidWorks. And it's this picture in here. Maybe as a, it's like the reason how I came up with this is more, if you guys have ever seen like how a piston works, you know that you're turning it, but then it goes up and down. So it's like how you translate rotational motion to like vertical motion, and it's a mechanism like this, a little circle in there with a knob and a little stick. So what I suggest we do now is, so the heart of this mechanism, by the way, is this gear structure in here, which is like a web of like stuff, right? Everything else is decoration. You don't need technically. But you can see how there is a like that slot in there and those spheres. So it's very simple. So shall we start? Let's cut that. Let's see how far we get with all of these things, and then if we have more time, we'll beautify. We'll add the rockets. We're gonna do a variant of this. Okay. So let's open here, file, new part. Let's do a sketch here in the top plane. So it's obviously easy for me to do it because I've already struggled with this, but maybe you guys have never seen it. So we're gonna work on building that central hub first, and we're gonna test that out whether it works, and if it does, then we'll build off from there. So a proposal to do that is to, let's do a circle. It doesn't matter how big it is. You guys can like play around with the dimensions, but I'll make mine a representative 100 units, whatever that could be. And then I'll extrude this upwards by 5. And not even, let's say 2, like that. Perfect. And now I can go then to sketch, and I click here in the face. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start first drawing some lines. So the first thing I want is, if we go back to this picture, I want to draw that hinge in there from where this is gonna be rotating. So very easy, I will draw one line that goes all the way there. I'll make that 10. And then a little rectangle in here. I'll draw it like that. I'll make, so our version of this structure, we're gonna make it have 4 arms instead of 8. 8 might be a little bit too much, so we'll make it with 4. So we can make that 20. Actually, we'll make this 15. And then I'll make that 5. No, I'm kidding. 8. Sorry. No, I'm indecisive sometimes with the dimensions. I think that looks mostly fine. Maybe it might be useful if I might make that 15, this unit in there. Very good. And now I'll make another little rectangle that's gonna go like this. I'll click on the 2 dimensions in there. I'll make that 5. And then I'm gonna extrude upwards only these 2 sides. And let's say I extrude by 10. Yeah, maybe that's fine. And then what I'll do is I'll go here to sketch. I'll do a sketch in that face. I'll draw a line and I'll make a hole that's gonna act as the hinge. And maybe we can make that 5 and 4. And I'll extrude that with a cut by 15. Perfect. And last thing, I'll just fillet these corners. Let's see, let's do maybe 4 might work. Yeah, perfectly. So it's a big hinge, as you can see in there, but I think that's fine. And now we need to do the part where the circle is gonna go. We might need to make this a little bit bigger, but that's fine. So we are at this point, so let's continue with the next piece. And this one is gonna go like this. So I'll go here to sketch. I'll do a sketch here in this phase. And I want that reciprocating circle to be, so I'll just draw this rectangle that I'm drawing now, that represents the area where that circle is gonna go, which means the hinge is probably gonna be somewhere around here. So what I can do is actually, I can make that, I made that like very, yeah, you guys can draw this one if you want, but the idea is that I'm gonna go here to center line, go there, and center rectangle like that, make that be 5, and I'll make that be 8 as well, like that. And I might modify this to be 45. There we go. So we are making a slightly different design for this, but I think it's gonna be kind of neat. So what I'll do now is go here to features, and I will extrude only that area in here. Let's say let's do 20. I like it because now we can do all sorts of different variations from the same thing. And then we'll here to sketch, face, and I'm actually gonna get rid of this area right here. So I'll select on this point, I'll select that one, and there I'll make that coincident. Let's say 40, that's fine. And then extrude, and I'll say, yeah, 20, whatever, like that. Good. I could have also selected that point in there, but should I? Actually, yes, I'll go here to sketch. I think it will look better. In that point, I'll click on that green check mark, I'll delete, and I'll just drag the point. I click on the point and that point, control. Let me just do that. Coincident. There we go. And now we got rid of that space in there. Good. Now the next thing we'll do is go here to sketch this face, and we'll do a little line. Just like that. And then we'll make this line be 4. And we'll make this one be 5. And we'll extrude this by 5. There we go. Perfect. And just like before, we'll fillet those two corners with a 4. Perfectly. Okay? So try to get it like this. I'm gonna maybe add a little detail in here where I can fillet those edges in there. Fillet it by 5. Actually, do I want to fillet that? Nah, I won't fillet that because I might chamfer those edges. There we go. Okay. And once you're happy with that, what we'll do is do a circular pattern of everything but the base. So we'll select all of these guys. We'll do a pattern like that.
How much did you extrude the peg? I thought it was 5.
By 5. Yeah. So all it's like 5. Most of them. Yeah, so now it's like kind of looking like the thing. Maybe the last thing I'll do here is I'll go to sketch, and I'm gonna join with one line this octagon in here. I'm just gonna draw a bunch of lines. Just like that. And I will extrude up to that point in the air. Okay, I'll let you guys try this for a second. So just some very simple steps. You go to like something that looks kind of complicated, like that little structure there. So now let's do the next step, which is, so we're gonna save this one. Let's call it, what will be a good name? Let's call it maybe base. As an example, I click on save. Oh, I already have a base one. So I'll call it Astro 1 as an example. Okay. So that now what we'll do is go here to File, New. We'll create a new part. And this part is going to be very simple. Go here to the front plane. And then we'll make a circle that's going to be, let's start with 50. Let's see what that looks like. And then we'll do an interior circle right here. That's going to be diameter 5. Like that. And then we'll extrude all of that by 5. Bless you. So that's almost done. Then we go here to sketch on this face right here. And what we do is that we draw a line that's gonna go like this. Let's say 22. And we'll make a little circle in there. Oh, let me just edit that. We'll make that one free. There we go. And yes, we'll extrude that by 5 as well. So this is the part that we're designing now.
What was the diameter?
I did this one 50, the interior one 5, and this one 3. 50, 5, 3. This one, all of them are always extruded by 5. So that was 5 and that was 5 as well. So now what we'll do is that once you've gotten to this point is we'll now go to File, New, Assembly.
Do I see it?
Oh yes, actually we do need to save it first. You're completely correct. So let's call it Astro 2. Let's save that. And now we go here to File, New, Assembly. And we bring Astro 1 as the piece that we want. And then insert components, Astro 2. And now it's the moment of truth where we check whether things match. So let's see. I'm gonna make this face and that face. Very good. And I'll make this face and that face. So what am I finding? That there's a slight interference in there. That's not what we want. So I'll need to come back to this design and I'll change the diameter. So, I mean, there's two things that I could do. I could either move this forwards a little bit more or make the circle smaller. I'll make the circle smaller. So we'll go back to Astro 2, the first sketch that we've done, sketch 1, edit, and I'll make this, let's see, 45, whether it gives us any better life. And also I need to modify that one. So I'll change that to be 17. Let's see. 18 should be fine. Okay. So let's see how this looks like in the assembly. Over here. Oh, yeah, that's gonna look good. Yes, I ended up making this one, the outer one, 45, and this one I made it the distance from here to here, 18. 18. So what we'll do now in this assembly is I'll start adding these discs. So I'll insert another component, another Astro 2, and I'll add 3 more, including this one. So I'll make that and that, and I'll make that concentric. But that's the reverse direction, so I'll just click like that. Very good. And that face and this face. Perfectly. And now we can insert components, Astro 2, made, and there. Made these two faces. And then one more.
It's not supposed to interfere when you put the on.
Like here, you mean?
Mine still interferes.
No, so I ended up making this diameter 45. I just changed it.
I think that's it.
Two. Maybe make it smaller if you want. It's fine. Insert another component. Astro 2.
How do you flip the direction again for a mate?
Yes. So see, like I've done a mate in there, right? So to flip the direction, there's like these two arrows in there.
Yeah.
So I can click like that, and it brings it in the direction like those two. I click on OK, and then this face and that face. There we go. Perfect. So this is where our next step is right now. So that's and I'm gonna save this as we call it Astro Assembly. Perfectly. Okay. I'm gonna beautify this thing. So I'll just go to this piece and I'll add a bunch of chamfers. There we go. Just like that. I'll add some chamfers here. And, maybe let's make that 1.5. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. I save this. I'll change the material properties of this body. Perfect. Oh, sorry, I'm not even giving you the full screen. Sorry for that. Come here. Good. There we go. Okay, slowly taking shape. Are we ready to continue? Next stage? Okay, let's do it. So the next one is like actually relatively simple. We're gonna design now the stick that connects all the way here. So this one again is gonna be a little bit of trial and error, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm gonna go here to File, New. I'm gonna go here to Part, and I'll go here to Sketch, Front, and we're gonna start by making literally a stick like this, where I'll make this 100. And this I'll make it equal to 8.
You started the front line, right?
Oh yeah, front plane is fine. I'll make that 100, that 8, and all I'm gonna do yes, and all I'll do for now is extrude this upwards by 5. And now what I'll do is I'll go here to sketch in this face. And I'll go from here to there, like I'm just designing. You'll see what all of this is in a moment. I'll click on this line, I'll click on that line, I'll make that equal. I'll set that dimension to be 15. You'll see what I mean in just a moment, and I'll make this be, let's say 10. And I'll make a slot that goes like this. Actually, this might need to be 3, let's see. And I'll make this slot be, I'll make that 3. And so remember, it's like, so I made this line, this one in here, equal to that line in there, and that's 15. And then I'll extrude cut this area over there by 5. And we can go here to fillets, add a bunch of fillets on these edges in there. And we're gonna add a little knob over here. I'll go here to smart dimension. I'll make that a 4. And we need to make that a 5. So I'm just trying out the dimensions first before you guys do it, because it's possible that we might need to modify some of these things. But we have this bar, and now I'm gonna save this. I'll save it as, let's call it Astro 3. And now what we do is bring this one into the assembly. So now we go back to the assembly in here, insert components, Astro 3. And what I'll do is go here to mate, something like that. Then I'll make this face and that face in there. And now what we need to see is whether, okay, so the mate that we're gonna use, this one, it's called tangent. So I click in this face, I click in that face, automatically knows it's tangent. So we've done the math correctly, then this means that, you see like how I need to extend the slot a little bit more. But it works, at least. You can see there. Yes, I'll need to come back to this design. So let's go back to Astro 3 in here. Let's look at that cut one more time. And I'll make that a 10. So here you got the dimensions. It's 10, it's 3 on each side, and then it's a slot. So I'll leave it like this. So that's it. So then if we exit and we go back to, okay, I'm gonna change the the body now, because why not? I'll make this brush. And we go here to the assembly. Then I think this should be fine. There, look, ooh, right on the boundary. Perfect, okay. So in other words, it's a little bit of trial and error to see whether it's gonna work or not. So what I'll do is I'll add this guy on the remaining three places. So I'm gonna continue adding 3 more of these bars. So I'll add, one more bar in here. So I'll make this face. There we go. Tangent. Let's see, insert components. This one right here. tangent. So like it's gonna go as far down as that. Wow. And one more. Right here. Let's place it right there. Okay, and if you want to be like extra fancy, because we're now gonna do one of the best steps ever, you can like align them in a ascending order. So I'm gonna leave, that's why I wanted to make them all one by one. So I'm gonna leave this one like there, and that one like here, and then this one as far, I think that's it. But now we're gonna start coupling them all together. All right, ready?
Yes.
I mean, do the next step. That way we don't waste as much time. So this one is the most critical step. So we'll go to this part. So let's open that one in here. And right there, we'll do a circle. So I'm gonna, it already identifies that as being the center. I'll draw a circle, say of size 15. And I'll extrude cut all of it. I'll say through all, boom. So it's very simple, right? You just draw a circle like that, and I click on OK. Good. So now the next step after having done that is that I create a new, actually, let me see how tall this is. I have no idea. Like from there to here, it's 8 millimeters. That's an important unit to have in mind. So I'll go now to File, New, Part. So we're gonna do the following thing. I go here to Sketch, and I'm gonna do a circle. Actually, hold on, let me just exit.
No, he went, I don't know. Which plane is in the top?
Top plane, whichever one is fine. And I'm gonna now draw a circle in here. That's gonna be 15 big. Oh, that's too big. Sorry, thank you very much. Let's zoom in here, and I'm gonna extrude this upwards by 8. That's it.
It's 15, right?
15 diameter and 8 the height. And now I do another sketch on top of this, and I'm gonna offset entities this by, let's say, 2. It doesn't matter, right? Let's do 2 for instance. And now I'm gonna bring this upwards by 2 as well. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing in the bottom one. I'll go here and say offset. So now you're essentially building like an Oreo in here. So I'll make that 2. So now you have like a little hub structure, and then another sketch that's gonna go in here. Actually, I'm gonna convert entities, that line in there. And I'm gonna make this one go for, let's see, let's do 20 tentatively for now. And now we do another circle over here. And we'll make this one be 50. Actually, probably 50 is fine. Yeah, so 20 all the way through, like there. So actually, the diameter of this one and that one is the same. So these two are, I just need to extrude this by 2. Very good. So very simple part, but this is true by 2. And then I'm just gonna color this while you guys work on it. So let's make this. I'm using every single metal I can find. So let's do bronze now. There we go. third place. I'm gonna make that a one in there. I'll make chamfer. Okay, so we got this part, and I'm gonna save it as
How much did you offset the bottom?
like this one. These two are identical pretty
The-
much. Oh, that one, that's 50. The diameter.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter like that. This one is just like, you can think of this as the base. So if it's big, I just did like a couple of chamfers in there.
Yeah.
Then I was gonna save this as Astro 4. Is it already? Yes. I'll let you guys work on this little hub for a second.
Sorry.
So now that we got to this point, let's make the magic happen. Let's make the mouse proud of us. So let's go to the assembly in here. So Astro assembly, and you see how the very first item that we brought, which is this one, it has a little F next to it. What does that mean? That if I click on this thing, I cannot drag it around. It's fixed. So I'm gonna right click in there, and there's a command that's called float. So I can actually now, well, actually, I don't wanna move it yet much, because now I'm gonna insert components, and I'm gonna insert this Astro. By the way, I'll probably need to increase the height of this by a lot, but it doesn't matter for now. I'll leave this in here, and this piece, Astro 4, right click, you can fix it. So now this is the one that is gonna be fixed. And why are we doing this? Because I'm gonna make this face and that face. Ha. And then I'm gonna make this face and that face. And if we've done the math correctly, it falls right in that little space that we defined. Good. So we'll probably need to modify this piece, but that's fine. I'll take care of that in a moment. But the idea now is that we'll go to our friend in here that's called mate. And then on mechanical mate, there's the gear mate right here. And all you have to do is one by one, you click in this face and you click in that face. And you say, okay. Then I click in this face. I click in that face and I say, okay. Gear, sorry. There we go. Then I click in that face. I click in that face. I make that a gear mate. And then I click in this face. I click in that face. I make that a gear mate. So what does this achieve? That now, if I were to move this around, they're all moving up and down simultaneously with respect to, yes, it's not very abrupt, the motion here. So what we can do is go back to the gear mates and increase a little bit the ratio. So instead of doing 45-19, I could do, I'm gonna change that to 15-19. So I'll do that in all of them actually. So I'll edit each one of them. You don't have to do it exactly like this, but I'll do 90 for a while. I'll change that to 15. Now I'll change that, and you'll see what is the effect that this achieves in a moment. I just want this to rotate a little bit quicker. There we go. Now edit this. Let's go. Boom. So what does this do? And now it's gonna rotate a little bit quicker whenever I move all of these up and down. That's pretty good, right? Like now. So every time it comes like here, it's as if like it reaches my screen and it goes down. Wow.
change the years.
Alright.
Yeah, since it was 40. No, because it changed it to 15, it wasn't 40. It was when it was
Yeah, so I went back to gear in here, and whatever numbers you can play around with them. But I just decreased the bigger number to like half or a third, and it helps you move a little bit quicker. And by the way, on this piece, I'm gonna edit it again. Nothing is set in stone like ever, so I'm just gonna make this way bigger. Let's say at least 100. There we go. And if you wanna be fancy, you can add like a ton of details on this one. Wanna make that a little bit bigger. Or I can go here to sketch. Sketch.
Your ratio is 15:19.
I did 15 and 19, yes. I'm just gonna. I'm just like, you don't need to do this step. This is me adding fun details, inspiring your creativity by a little bit. I can make this go upwards, right? Like by some amount, and then I can do like a fillet in there. I'll make it a variable, and no, I could make it a symmetric one. I could make that like 40 or 100. And we can do a little circular pattern of this and that.
It's bigger.
We'll make that 16. Ooh. It looks like a sun in there. But if we go back to the original assembly, then you have this. So now our rockets, when we do design them, they're gonna be placed over here at the extremes of the brass parts.
And then the color.
If you've gotten to this point and you really want to make sure that things are going well, let's go back to SolidWorks add-ins, SolidWorks Motion as usual, and then we click in Motion Study. Then we go here to Motion Analysis. Let's go here to 10 seconds, the classic. Then I move the diamond all the way up here, and then you add a motor. So you have a rotary motor, right? I'm gonna add a motor right here, and I'm gonna do 10 RPM. I already know that 10 hopefully should work. I say okay, and now you can see it spinning by itself without me doing anything. If that is too quick for you, you can go back to rotary motor, edit feature. I can make that a 5. And I'm gonna recalculate. I like that. There we go. We will do a more proper animation at the end, but I just wanted like as a sanity check that your thing is working. Let's open this part, this extension right here. So now you have to bear with me, but we'll do a sketch in this phase right here, and I'm just gonna draw a line that's gonna get up to here, up to that point right there. You can make that line. In my case, I'll make it 47. It doesn't matter how big it is. It just has to get all the way there, approximately. And then I go here to features, reference geometry, plane. I click on that point. I click on this line. I go to exit. So now what I have is a plane that is right there. It's perpendicular to that line at that particular point. And why am I doing this? Because now I'll click here in sketch. I'm doing a sketch on this plane that we just created right there. And I'm gonna do a little outline of the rocket. So I'm gonna draw it roughly like this. It's very simple, by the way. It's not like you don't have to kill yourselves like making the like the rocket design. I'm just like free forming it. It's okay to be creative here. I'm just gonna click in this line and that and make that tangent.
Do you have to make two references to create the plane?
No, I just created once you create that line, then when you create the plane, you just click in the point and the line.
Oh, wow.
And the line, yes. So on a tangent. And I'm gonna make that 4. Here, don't worry about copying the exact dimensions. We can make a competition of who has the nicest rocket.
Is this the front profile or side profile?
No, I'm making a revolve.
Okay,
I'll revolve this around here.
okay.
So I want the rocket to be pretty much on like in this area around here. In fact, a lot of this design will probably change. Like I don't think this is gonna stay exactly like what I'm doing. Like I might make mine very aerodynamic. Like just like that. And make that actually more than aerodynamic, I'm making it look like a fish. Kind of. Like I'll make that a construction geometry, but I want to draw a little nozzle that comes off like this. There we go. 5, and maybe I'll make this 6. I might make this 4. No. There we go. Okay. So say you have something like just draw a profile of something that you like. It doesn't need to be a rocket, but I'm making it a rocket. And then when you're happy, you go here to features and you revolve this around here. So then you have something in the end that looks like that. I mean, I have to color it. I'm gonna change some of the dimensions. It looks like a nuke, right? And like that's true. I can add like the nuclear symbol too. But the idea is that now, once I rotate this, you have the nukes flying around, just exploding. Every time it comes down, it's an explosion. Another thing that you'll notice is that they're not all oriented in my sketch in the correct orientation. So I can go over to this guy in here, to Astro Free. I'm gonna look at the mates that I've done. And I think I need to edit one of them. Let's see if I can change the orientation like that. It's gonna complain. I know you're gonna complain. I'm gonna actually get rid of that one and I'll bring a new one. Insert components, Astro Free. I'll make this right here. So once you have a rocket or something like that, I'll show you how to make the fins. That way it has like some little wings. There we go. two more things because time is not my friend and it's a very dangerous time. So we got to this point. So now what I'd like to do is in the same plane that we created, I'm gonna do a sketch in plane one. And if you have something like this, it's gonna work, otherwise, don't worry. But the idea is that I want to draw right here. I'm gonna draw like a, actually I can go here to convert entities. I'm gonna convert like that line, it's a silhouette edge. I'm gonna make that a construction geometry, and I can draw one of the fins.
So this is the same plane that you made the.
Yes, the same plane. And I can just tell it, you can be creative, you can say, all right, I want that to be 2. Oy. There we go. We can say I want that to be 2 as well. We can say I want that to be 3. Why not? Let's say 9. 3. Perfect. And then I just close that sketch in there like that. Actually, not really. I'm gonna bring this downwards by an amount. I'll make this and that line perpendicular. There we go. I'll make this and that one perpendicular, that and that one parallel, and I'll make this be
Are you gonna revolve this?
what?
Are you gonna revolve this?
No, I'm not gonna, this one, no. This one, what I'll do is I'll extrude it, let's say by 0.5 in both directions. It's just that the reason why I extended it a little bit because you can see it here, right? We started at that edge, but because of the curvature of the structure, we need to give it a little bit more volume. It's coming out right there. It's a very tiny amount, but you can see the straight edge over there. So now what I can do is go here to fillet. I can beautify over there. Let's make that a 5. And then go to chamfer and do it on both sides. Let's see 0.5. How would that look like?
Not good.
Good. And now I will change. What you can do is you go to now circular pattern and you say, all right, what do you want to do a pattern of? Well, these 3 things. And the direction, I'll choose this guy in here. And no, I don't want as many, I just want 3. To go like right there. But it's in 5. What would 5 look like? You see that it's overlapping with the interface part, which is what I didn't want. But that's fine. It is what it is. So I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'll probably change the colors of this to be magnesium. There we go. Perfectly. Maybe just to make this a little bit more menacing, I'll change that face color to be.
What was the direction you used? Just one of those circular.
One of the directions for, oh yes, I just, that face. Yes. So now you got at least 3 fins, and you can repeat this process like in the front as well. I'm just curious to see how.
What happens if there's a little interference with the 3D?
Let me take a look. I just want to see 1 second how. Actually, you know that you can change colors in here too. Like I can go here to that face and say like, of that one in particular, I can make that one be like, I can make that like the red missile. This one is all they all change colors. Let me see whether no, they're all changing color. That's fine. I'll leave it as red. Okay. But it seems like the most south that it goes is about the same height as that. So that's good. We've done like the math correctly. While the highest it goes is all the way there. And now what we'll do is let's make an exploded view of this. So I'm gonna go to configuration manager, default, add exploded view. So I'm gonna click in there and I'm gonna start essentially pulling all of these components apart. So I'll leave this one in here. We're gonna do something funky, by the way. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'll click here in done. Just moving this around. Done. Done. I go to, there we go. Done. I pretty much, it doesn't need to be perfect, but I just want to disassemble all of this thing. Then bring this upwards. Done. Done.
Fix it. You can leave the other great part. Oh.
Done.
Don't say.
I think that's mostly fun. And then this piece, I can make it go downwards. I click on done. So what I think it's cool about this is that I think if we go to motion study number 2, I say like, yes. All right, this is gonna be funky. Let's see. They're all doing something.
That's great. What is the?
Yeah, it's like a weird one. But the whole idea is that we're gonna create a new motion study, right? So maybe for the first part, I'm gonna go to configuration. I will collapse and I'll show you how to do this in a moment. Again, I'm just trying it out first in here, but I'll add this one where I go to animation wizard and I can say, I want you to explode this as an example. I'd say, take the first 10 seconds to do that. So then, as you guys remember, it's doing that, right? But that's kind of boring if it's not rotating. So I'm also gonna make this rotate the model while that's happening. Y-axis, it's fine. Let's say I want 2 rotations. I want you to finish there. So let's see now that. I'm gonna like zoom in. By the way, yes, that is. I'm gonna go here to orientation. I'll zoom in significantly because otherwise. Oh, I know. So I have to. Changing in there. Just each one of these diamonds, I just have to. Make it come in. There we go. And there. And then I'll add another animation here where I'm gonna collapse this. And I want to make this happen in, 3 seconds, that's fine. So let's see how this looks like. Okay.
Oh.
And maybe we can continue making this rotate for a little bit longer. Let's say 2 rotations. Yeah, that's fine. And then once we reach this point, this is where we're gonna make this do its like spinning magic and whatnot. We can make that work for 23 through, let's say 32 seconds. So there, I'm gonna move the diamond to come here. Let's see whether it works. I'm gonna add a motor. It's gonna be right here. Let's make that 6. Oh, perfect. Okay. Let's see. I'm curious to see whether it's gonna do the thing in there. Yeah, so it's going in the opposite direction, which is not what we want. So I'm gonna go back to rotary motor, edit feature. I wanna revert the direction. There we go. And I'm gonna regenerate everything. So it's a little bit of a mess. All that's going on is like things flying around in a wide space and then coming together again. This thing is rotating. It's like you're like in space, you're in a black hole, in a big swirl, and then all right, they found stability, and it can rotate in peace. And the nukes are saving humanity. And there. So that's the story in a nutshell. This is it. So I'll just stop sharing the screen here.